So the immediate threat of a Greek bankruptcy has been averted for now, thanks to a mind-bogglingly expensive sticking plaster. But among the serious questions is what happens as a result of forcing private bondholders to take major losses. The governments of Portugal, Ireland, Spain and Italy will have been looking on in envy, while the holders of those nations' IOUs will be wondering whether they're next in line for what is euphemistically described as voluntary debt restructuring. Here's Philip Lasker.
You're watching what's called the Greek bailout plan's implementation risk. Everyone's talking about whether Athens can bring its people along to deliver the promised austerity.
Greece now is solvent and at the same time has gained a long period up to 2020 to make sure that it can come back to the right track as an economy.
But there are plenty of people worried about the plan being derailed well before 2020, not by unrest on the streets, but by private lenders holding Greek debt who've been forced to wear huge losses.
We do not know if these write-downs, which are far more aggressive than was originally advertised, will be acceptable to all the lenders. And that will require some legislation in Greece called collective action clauses, whereby the majority of lenders can impose their decision on the minority. And we don't know how that quite is going to work out and whether they're going to be legal challenges.
The bailout package has private creditors taking a 53.5% write-down on the value of their Greek bonds. But there are other measures, which means the so-called haircut ends up being as high as 75%. And some wonder what this does for other Eurozone countries with their hands out.
If I was a bond investor, I would be thinking very carefully about whether I should buy bonds in other European countries, particularly the beleaguered countries like Portugal, Spain, Ireland, Italy, simply because I risk exactly the same thing happening to me.
So European officials were at pains to point out that Greece was unique.
Such kind of private sector involvement that has taken place in the case of Greece has or will not be repeated anywhere else.
But some are sceptical.
They said Greece was going to be a one-off bailout. We've had bailouts of Portugal and also of Ireland. They said that Spain and Italy did not need support. Spain and Italy's bonds have been heavily supported by the European Central Bank.
Economics will dictate whether the plan becomes a Greek bailout or a European template.